Today, we're going to start working on our first music and sound project, and this is going to be the talent show assignment, and you will find the directions for that in the Google Classroom. So, the very first thing that you need to do once you're logged into your Scratch account is open up a new project. So, I'm going to go here, I'm going to click on Create and start a brand new project. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call it, I'm going to give it my name, and I'm going to say talent show. I'm going to call it my talent show, and I'm going to click on share. That way it's shared the instructor right away. So the first thing you're going to do is add 3 sprites. So I'm going to click on see inside. And I'm going to add 3 sprites. And so these are going to be sprites that are going to have some kind of talent. So I might want to keep that in mind as I'm choosing my sprites. So I'm going to find somebody that can dance. And if I hover over them, I can see the different costumes they have. This one only has that costume, so probably not the best dancer for me. So she dances. She dances. So it really doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to just choose Cassie. That Cassie is going to be one of mine. I'm going to want some kind of a sprite that moves, okay, similar to when we were doing our animation. So I'm going to look and I want a sprite that can move. In this case, I'm going to pick an animal, but I want one that can move. Could be a dog, but I want, again, ones that have some pretty good costumes so that they can move. That one's not too bad. Well, I kind of like the trumpeting elephant. I'm going to take that one. And then I need another sprite that can do just about anything. This one, I'm going to make it change color, and I'm going to tie a sound to it. So I'm just going to choose, let's see. Oh, just one of these gobos. Okay, so I'm going to choose that. I'm not going to use the cat, so I'm just going to get rid of the cat. Okay, so I have my 3 sprites, one that can dance, one that can move, and one that really can be anything else. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is click on the sprite that can dance. And I'm going to choose Cassie because she can dance, and I'm going to program her. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into events, and I'm going to choose a when this sprite clicked because I don't want them all to do it at the same time. In a talent show, one contestant goes at a time. So I'm going to say when this sprite clicked, then I'm going to have it repeat something forever. I'm going to bring over a forever block. And just like we've done when we've animated some other things, I'm going to say next costume. And I'm going to put in a wait block. And I'm going to leave it at a second now, but I'm going to change that time to make it fit whatever fits best with the music that I choose. Okay. Now, this one has some music already that's here. She's got some dance that comes with her, so I don't even have to go find any dance. But I also want that music to start when this sprite is clicked. I don't want it to always play, only when this sprite is clicked. So at the same time that she's going through her costume changes, the music is going to be playing. So I'm going to bring in another forever. And then I'm going to bring in a sound, and I'm just going to say play dance around until done, and then it will start and it will go. So if I just spread them out here a little bit. If I click on the green flag, nothing happens, right? So if I click on this sprite, she starts to dance, but she's going too slow. So I'm going to change that to a 0.5. Still a little slow. Change it to a 0.3. I can live with that. I'm going to click on the stop, okay? But I don't want the person to have to click on the stop sign every time. So I'm going to program a key that will make her stop moving and make the music stop. So I'm going to go back to the events and I'm going to say when space key pressed, and then I'm going to ask it to stop other scripts in Sprite. So I'm going to go to the control, and there is a button that's called stop all, the block. And I'm just going to say stop other scripts in Sprite. So now when I click the green flag, when I click on her, she starts. When I click the space key, she stops. Okay, it stopped both the music and the sound. So I have made her dance. Now I'm going to do my moving sprite. So that is going to be my elephant. I'm going to click on my elephant. And again, I don't want this to happen when the green flag is clicked. So it's going to be when this sprite clicks. I'm going to bring out a forever block. And my elephant is going to walk across the stage. So I'm going to have it change costume. So I'm going to say next costume. And I'm going to put in a wait block. And again, I will set that time to fit whatever makes the most sense after I get it done. And I'm going to have it move 10 steps. And then I'm going to put that if on edge bounce. We did that with some of our animations in our storytelling. And it takes a little bit of figuring out what I need to do as far as the rotation style. I'm not going to do anything with that yet. Just going to leave it there. Now, I'm also going to have some sound because this is a talent show. It's not just to look, I want to hear. And so I'm going to say again, when this sprite clicked, bring over a forever block. And there's already a sound in here. Let's see. I don't want the pop sound though. I'm pretty. Okay. So I have the squeak sound, but I don't like how it keeps repeating. So I can choose to, I'm going to delete part of it. And so I'm going to grab all of that and I'm going to delete that part. And well, I don't want to go faster. And I can leave it like that. And so now I'm going to go back to the code. And I am going to add play sound until done. Then I am going to bring in a event that says when space key pressed. stop other scripts in the sprite. So I'll bring over the stop all. Okay, so that is what that character does. Now I'm going to define what the Gobi does, and this is going to be part of a multiple musicians part. So I'm going to put my Gobi up here, and I'm going to bring over this time a when green flag clicked, and then I'm going to bring over a forever block and put that in there. So this is something that's going to happen after the green flag is clicked. It doesn't mean I have to click on that sprite. So then I'm going to bring over one of those if-then blocks like we used in our storytelling to make it interactive, and I'm going to put it inside the forever block. Go to sensing, and I'm going to use if touching mouse pointer. I'm going to put that in there. Then I want it to change color. So I want it to go from one color to another. And so that's going to be under the looks. And I'm going to change color effect by, and I'm just going to leave 25 in there. Okay. Then I'm going to also bring over a when green flag clicked, because that's the changing color is its talent. But I also need a sound that's connected with it. So I'm going to bring over another forever block. And then I'm going to say another if-then statement. And I'm going to do the mouse pointer again. So that was under sensing. If touching mouse pointer, then now I'm going to have it play a note. I'm going to choose a musical note for it to play. Now to do that, I'm going to click down here on the bottom and add an extension. And the first thing I see up here is music. So I'm going to choose that. And it's going to give me another set of blocks to choose from. So now I'm going to just play a note. And if I click here, I can change that note. Right now, I'm just going to leave that one on C. And that's what it sounds like. So I'm going to click the green flag. If I hover over it, it changes color and it plays that note as long as I'm touching it. Okay. Now that I have that sprite programmed, I'm going to duplicate it. I want to program it first and then duplicate it. So I'm going to make 4 of these. I'm going to add 3 more. So I'm going to duplicate, and it's duplicating the code for each one as well. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the color of these in just a moment. I'm going to put them up at the top here. Okay, so I'm going to start with my first one. It's over here now. I'm going to go to the costume and I'm going to change the color of it. So instead of yellow, I'm going to make it red. Okay. And I'm going to go to the second one, choose that. Now I'm going to make that one green. And eventually all of them will be a different color. I'm going to make that one. Let's go with purple. Okay. Now, if I click the green flag, they change color. Very cool. But they're all playing the same note. So I know I'm going to go back to my code And for each one, I'm going to change this note. So I'm just going to choose a different note. Like here. All right. So now they all play a different note. They change colors. Okay. So it's kind of cool. So that's my multiple musicians. So now I have programmed one to dance, one to move, and one that has a different variable to it. It changes colors and it has different notes. Now we're going to look at how we can have a winner in our contest. And so we will have to create some voting. But before I do that, I want to get them all in a place to start. And so I'm going to tell them all where to go when the green flag click. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Cassie. And I'm going to just, well, I'm going to move her to where I want her to be. I'm going to put her over here. I'm going to put my, going to disconnect him here. Is moving here for a second. Okay, get them where I want them to be. And so I'm going to give a when green flag clicked. And I'm going to tell him to go to XY. I've also decided I don't want him quite that big. But make him a little bit smaller since he's got a high, low voice. Okay, so each time I click the green flag, he's going to go back to the same spot. Now, if I really want to reset, I might also want to change his costume so that he always starts with the same costume. So it doesn't matter where I've stopped him, he will start with the same costume. So I'm going to switch his costume to A. So he'll always go to the same spot and he'll always start like that. So now I'm going to go to Cassie. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say when green flag clicked. And she's not going to move because she's dancing. But I do want her to start with a certain. I'm going to just have her start with A. So she's going to start like that. I think that's fine. And so now every time the green flag is clicked, these guys will go to the right spot. They'll get the same costume on that I want them to have on, and that is ready to go. So now we're going to do some voting. And the way that you do that is that you are first of all going to bring in a sprite that is a check mark. Or it could be a button or something. You want something that they can click on that they can, so it could be one of any kind of these buttons, okay? I'll just bring it around one. That's fine. And I'm going to set that at about 50%. Okay? And I have to put the button where I want it. And I'm going to put a button underneath each one. And I'm going to, right now I'm just going to duplicate it. And I'm going to duplicate it before I code it because it won't all have the same code. I'm going to put one here for Cassie. And then I'll put one up here at the top for my gobies. So I'm going to click on this button. And then I'm going to create a variable. We haven't used those yet. That's the orange block over here. I'm going to create a variable. So I'm going to click on make a variable. And I'm going to call it one of the talents. So I'm going to call this one elephant. And I'm going to say for this sprite only, I'm going to say okay. Okay, and notice it's up here now. I can move that and I will here. I'll just take it and I'll put it down here by the elephant. And I'm going to I have it clicked so that it shows on the screen. And then I'm going to click here and double click until it shows just the number. Okay, so that I have it beside it. That will show me how many times it's been clicked on. And I'm going to add some direction for this. And I am going to go to the events and I'm going to add an event that says when this sprite clicked. And then I'm going to go back to my variables and I'm going to say change elephant by 1. So that will increase this number by 1 every time somebody clicks under the elephant button. Okay, so now I need to do the same thing for the other 2 buttons. I cannot drag and drop them because the coding is different. So I'm going to make a variable. I'm going to call this one dancer. Okay, for this sprite only. I'm going to bring it down here again and double click until it gets to the number. Then I am going to say when this sprite clicked, go back to the variables, change dancer by 1. I'm going to go to my gobies. And I'm going to make a variable and call it goby. Say okay. And bring it down over here. Go to my events. When this sprite clicked, go to variables, change goby by 1. Okay, so now let's say I clicked on the elephant. Spacebar stops it. I click on my dancer. Spacebar stops it. These I just go over the top. Okay, now if I wanted to vote, if I click on the button under the elephant, it goes up every time I click. Same for the gobies. Same for the dancers. Okay, so I've programmed all these things, but now I need to tell my user what to do. Otherwise, they're going to come to this program and they're going to not understand what all these things are. So I'm going to click on See Project Page. And I am going to have to give directions. So I'm going to say, click the green flag to start the talent show. Click on the elephant to see her talent. Press the space bar to stop it. Click on the dancer to see her talent. Press the space bar to stop it. Roll the mouse over the gobies to see their talent. When you are done, click on the green button below your favorite to vote. Okay, lots of directions needed for this one, but if they aren't there, the person who's using it will not know what to do. Okay, so again, I'm going to call this is Haley's Talent Show. It's shared. It's ready to go. So this is what you need to do your talent show for this assignment. Please let me know if you have any questions or need any help with it.